Hi everyone. Thank you for coming back to my channel today. I had all intentions of coming home and starting my video, and it was pouring raining, and I ended up getting some freshly caught shrimp at work. So I had that on ice, so I hurried up and came home so I could get that in the freezer. I still have to devein it and all of that. I was not going to get into all that tonight. But I wanted to share my dinner for tonight. I had some leftover chicken fajita stuff I made yesterday. Just baked some chicken tenderloins with some peppers and onions. And then I put some avocado on, some light sour cream, just like 2 tablespoons. Okay, let's try this again. My phone said it was out of storage, and I have no idea how much storage I have left. I had to go through and delete a bunch of stuff. But I went ahead and had my dinner. Like I was trying to say, I had some chicken fajitas that I made last night. I don't add any oil or anything to it. I did do a little sprinkle of just like a mozzarella cheese, probably not even a 1/4 cup for the whole thing, so it wasn't much at all. But so I made that yesterday, and I put a little bit of taco seasoning on top, and it was really good. And like I said, there's no, like, I have paint all over me. I've been painting. I had the intentions of coming on here all cute. Well, well, it's real life. It's just real life. But anyway, I found something kind of neat that, and maybe it's occurred to everybody else. It never occurred to me. I do like the tortillas, but they do add a lot of, not a lot, but some of them add a lot of calories. I get the low carb ones, the ones that are like 1 carb, and they're not real big. But I usually will just have one. And I thought, instead of just like having one fajita, I warmed it up, and then I just tore it into little pieces and put it on top. So then I got like a little bite of the tortilla with every bite, which really worked. It was yummy. So that was my dinner. This morning, I got 2 teeth pulled last week. Thursday, I think it was. It Thursday? Yeah, it was Thursday. My 2 first molars I had to get pulled. Both of them had root canals done on them. This one had a crown on it and still ended up getting, I don't like that clock is up there, or that timer thing. I don't know. It cuts off my head. Anyway, so I had both of these 2 teeth pulled, and it is so hard for me to chew with there no tooth there. I'm gonna get a crown on both sides, not a crown, a bridge on both sides. So it's not gonna be like that forever, but man, and it's sore if I bite down on something, and that whole, oh my goodness, it makes my mouth sore. And my husband says I'll get used to it, but I'm not used to it. I've never had a tooth pulled, and it was not fun. It was not pleasant. And if I had to do it again, I don't know. I might tell him to put me to sleep. I don't know. But anyway, so I eat extra slow because I'm carefully chewing, and I'm putting everything into little tiny bites and things. So that takes me even longer to eat, and I'm probably eating less because, you eat slower, you fill up faster. It's just the way it goes. So today I kind of wanted to just touch base with you on how I'm doing with weight loss and some of the things that I'm noticing that I never noticed before, and also to talk about your ideal weight, whatever that is. I just, I'm not gonna lie. Like I got on the scale the other day, and in the past 30 days, I was down another 9 pounds. So in 1 month, I lost another 9 pounds. I cannot tell you when's the last time I've weighed this. You know, I'm gonna venture to say I was probably a teenager, maybe. So I was cleaning out closets, and I pulled out some of my winter coats because I thought, you know, living in North Carolina, I don't need a blue million winter coats. And oh, my coats were so huge on me. I was like, wow, you know, I just couldn't believe it. But, you know, sometimes because I have never been, well, I haven't in a long time been this size, I've noticed that not only is my body changing, but I want to say my emotions. It's not emotions. It just changes you mentally too. I wasn't extremely overweight. You know, I just always kind of considered myself a bigger framed person, I guess. Like you know, I have like larger hands and larger feet. You know, my feet's always, even though I have lost half of a shoe size. And I could see in my feet that my feet look smaller. So that's a plus. I can't say my hands have changed. My fingers probably went down a half a size or something. But anyway, I was thinking about when I went into my, let's see, well, I can't remember what I was looking at. I was looking at something on the internet about like what somebody a certain height should weigh, right? And I'm 5 foot, almost 5'6", and I can tell you that I could never, you know, and they might say at 5'6", if you weigh 160 pounds, you're going to be overweight. Well, I'm here to tell you that's not true. And when you look at those charts, they do not consider your frame, you know, I did read this, which I didn't really know, a way to tell, like, if you're a larger frame person, is by taking your index finger and your thumb and putting it around your wrist. Let's see here. See how mine don't quite touch? Well, they say if your index finger and your thumb don't touch, that you have a larger frame, which just means that your bones are wider. And when you have a larger frame like that, your body can hold more weight, more muscle, and things, and that's not a bad thing. That doesn't mean you're you know, I'm not a, you know, like I said, I'm 5'5.5". I'm average height. I don't feel like I have extremely broad shoulders or anything. It's just the makeup of my bones. It's genetic. My grandma was the same way, and she wasn't overweight. She just had a wider frame, you know. And it's not even your frame. It's the actual size of your bones and the width of your bones. And so, like, you could see somebody that's the same height as me with a smaller frame. I want to say smaller frame, smaller bone size, and they're gonna look overweight when they are 160 pounds, 155 pounds. They're going to look a little chubby, a little overweight. But then you're going to see somebody that has, you know, a little bit broader shoulders, broader, you know, like I said, you're going to see, like, and someone like me who does have the wider frame and bones and things, I can be 160 pounds and look thinner because my body carries weight differently, and I'm able to carry that extra weight. And I always say that a lot of my weight's in my feet. But anyway, so all of that to say, don't listen to these charts that say if you are 5'5" that your ideal weight's 125 pounds, because that is not true. Don't buy into the BMI. Don't buy into those weight charts. I think a more accurate way is the waist to height ratio. I think it is. So Google that and it'll tell you how to figure that up. You need to go more by your waist size, and if your waist is, let's say, 30 and your height, I don't even know what in inches, like, you want to make sure your height is a lot more in your middle. You know what I'm saying? So that is a more accurate way to tell, not just purely by your height. There's a lot of things that go into your weight, and that has nothing to do, I've seen people that were, say, especially like men, like my son is a big guy, and he's never going to be like 170 pounds. His frame is just not made to be that small. My frame is not meant to be 120 pounds. That's just not going to happen. I would look deathly sick if I was that skinny. And I'm not trying to look skinny. I'm trying to be as healthy and as fit as I can be for my age and for my, the way that makes me feel good, the way my clothes fit. That's what I'm looking at. So pay attention to what size you want to be in, and how you feel, if you have energy, if you feel the best you've ever felt. That is what's important. Like, your health is good, you don't have any kind of weight related health issues. Those are the things that you have to pay attention to. Are you getting exercise? Are you able to walk, say, a mile, or walk up a flight of steps without being winded? Those are the things that are important. You're not diabetic, unless, I know there's certain circumstances where people, there's different types of diabetes. I'm talking about type 2 diabetes, where it's 9 times out of 10, it's what you eat. A lot of things, a lot of issues is because of what we eat. So I wanted to come on today, and I wanted to encourage you not to look at those charts. Look at how your clothes are fitting. Like, I know right now that if I didn't lose another pound, I would be happy with where I am right now. My goal is to lose another 10 pounds. And I will be, and I'm not a skinny girl, this is as skinny as I've ever been in a very, very long time. But like, I'm gonna have curves, and that's good. I want curves. I want to be healthy looking. I want to look like a woman. I want to look like a little boy. So, I want to be as healthy as I can be. I want to feel good, and I want a good quality of life, and I want to feel good about myself. And there's things, like I said, there's things that I never imagined after losing weight. I never thought about, like, my skin changing, and I have some loose skin on my arms, and on my stomach and on my thighs, and you can kind of tell where you carry your weight, because if you lose a significant amount of weight, especially if you're older, your skin does not bounce back like it used to. You will notice where you're heaviest is where you're going to have more looser skin. Now, it's not hanging or anything like that, like if I was to lose over 100 pounds or something, and there's some people that have really elastic skin, and it bounces back really good, but mine's just not that way. But like I said, water, muscle tone, lifting weights, that's going to help some. It's not going to help completely. It's just part of it. from abusing our bodies and things and not taking proper care of them. There's just certain things that are gonna happen that we don't have any control of at this point. You know, it is what it is. So just pay attention to how your clothes are fitting, how you feel. Don't look necessarily at the number. I look at the number on the scale because it's showing me my progress. You know, I don't want to look at it like, oh, I've got to be a certain number, because I honestly don't know, you know, I don't know what that number is before I would look like I've lost too much. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. I want to feel good. I want to feel confident in my clothing. That's what my goal is, not a certain number. So my goal is to lose another 10 pounds, and then I will just go into maintenance. So that is going to be my rant for the day. I know I said some changes and things. The skin, I keep saying emotion, but it's not emotions. It's mental. Somebody keeps texting me. It's more like feeling unfamiliar with yourself. You know, like I feel weird all of a sudden because like I'm not used to this size person. I'm not used to looking at myself and wearing my clothes and me looking smaller. I'm not used to it. So it kind of messes with you mentally a little bit, you know. And I know that's going to take an adjustment. There's going to be an adjustment period that I got to get used to the way my body looks, the good and the not so good. You know, there's just certain things, you know, getting used to feeling bones that you never felt before, you know, like sometimes I think like, my shoulder bone sticks out right here and up here. And like, I never felt that before. And it was like, oh my gosh, is that supposed to be like that? Is that supposed to stick out like that? But yeah, it's because I had fat back there and now the fat's not back there like it was. So you're going to feel different, you know, bones and things and muscles that you never felt before. And you're going to see some loose skin that you never saw before. So there's pros and cons to everything, but I'll take being healthy and weighing less, or being fitter, I should say. So, you know, there are things that you need to watch for and kind of things to expect, but just like anything else, it's an adjustment period, but it's mostly good. It's mostly good. I feel better. I worked my hiney off this weekend. I had so much energy, and you know, it's something I never really had before. And today I'm gonna rest. I worked today, and I'm gonna take it easy. It's a rainy day out, and I'm just gonna have a leisurely evening. I'm gonna have me a cup of coffee. It's a nice evening for a cup of coffee. And I will catch up with you next time. And I'm hoping to have a recipe to share with you. And watch what you eat. You know, don't obsess over it. Just be mindful of it. Okay? Be mindful of your portion sizes. Be mindful of the calories that you're putting into your body and what kind of calories they are. That makes a big difference. And I will see you next time, and get out there and walk, get out there and exercise, do something. Don't sit on the couch. Move your body. That helps. So take care. Have a great evening.